The Homeland Security team at the Heritage Foundation compiled a total of 6 false claims that President Biden made that day. I'm going to give you the first 3 and launch the conversation. Number 1, President Biden claimed he inherited the border crisis from the Trump administration. Number 2, the president claimed the border crisis is getting urgent action now. And number 3, President Biden claimed we had thousands of young kids in custody in places they shouldn't be because of Border Patrol. Joining us now to discuss is visiting fellow for the Heritage Foundation, Mark Morgan. Mark, what strikes you most about what you saw?
All 3 of those. Like you said, we compiled a list a lot longer than that. But first of all, for this president of the United States to say that they inherited the crisis, the truth is, the facts are that our southwest border is the most secure border in history. He inherited a network of tools, policies, and authorities that were effectively working to deal with the crisis that we experienced in 2019. That is the truth. And lastly on that, with a stroke of a political pen, he got rid of all the tools and authorities that were working. The agreements with Mexico, the Northern Triangle countries, the Remain in Mexico program, and of course, he stopped building the wall. It's all that and the rhetoric and the open border policies that caused this crisis. That's the fact.
And that speaks to some of these other false and misleading claims. A second portion of them, number 4, that the president said that they failed to have a real transition as the immigration and defense departments were understaffed. Number 5, the border crisis is under control, which we heard him say. And number 6, the Trump administration didn't plan for the overflow of children. So, Mark, what do you say about those 3?
Look, all of those are spot on, just blatant lies. But look, number 4 and 5 really strikes out. First of all, to say that this crisis is under control simply because now they've gotten better at moving unaccompanied minors from the Border Patrol facilities to different facilities controlled by HHS. And now because of that, it's under control. Look, in April, you're going to see the numbers well over 160,000. That's 2 months recorded in the past 2 months. The highest numbers monthly totals we've seen in over 15 years. Look, getting better at facilitating illegal immigration and shifting the burden from one agency to another does not mean we have the system under control. And lastly, real quick, look, to say that there was not a transition is an absolute blatant lie. I was there. I was the acting commissioner. Our folks participated in those briefings. DHS alone provided over 200 briefings to the transition team. The majority of them were on border security and immigration. We warned them. We specifically warned them if they did what they have done, that they would create the crisis, and they ignored us. And it's a lie to say that they didn't have a transition.
Mark, if you had the ear of the president now, what would you tell him he needs to do?
A couple things. He's got to restore the critical policies that we had in place that are working. The Remain in Mexico policy, Title 42 has to apply. We're still in the middle of a global pandemic. He has to reinstate Title 42 for unaccompanied minors as well as adults, and he needs to end catch and release. If he does those things, the crisis they'll get a better hold on the crisis, but they won't be out of the water just yet, but that's the first thing I would say he needs to do.
You know, Mark, you mentioned that when the transition was going on, you were one of the people providing them with information, telling them not to do this because this will happen. When's the last time you spoke with anyone from the administration? Have they reached out to you with all of these issues happening?
Yeah, sorry about that. So, look, yes, I made myself available to this Secretary of DHS, Ali Mayorkas. I've yet to have a conversation. He has yet to reach out. I have spoken directly to the current acting commissioner of CBP, Troy Miller, because, look, I'm befuddled at the memos that this individual keeps signing and his clear comments that are politically driven, making false statements to this to the American people about what's happening along our southwest border. And it's unconscionable to me, the rhetoric that's coming out of this administration.
Mark, we have about 30 seconds. It appears you take this as a personal insult.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. I am beyond frustrated because what I see being negatively impacted is incredible men and women of the United States CBP and specifically the Border Patrol, who's out on the front lines every day sacrificing so much. And what this administration has done is make their job more difficult, their job more dangerous, and they've impacted our national economic security. You bet I'm frustrated.
Okay, Mark, thank you so much. Mark Morgan there joining us.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for watching the Heritage Foundation's YouTube channel. With more than 500,000 members, we are the nation's largest conservative research and education institution. We believe the principles and ideas of the American founding are worth conserving and renewing. Please help us further our mission by subscribing to this channel and sharing our videos with your family and friends.